So what I've been thinking for like this year, I wanted to make sure that I go into this year with more of like some organization, you know, making sure I'm actually maximizing my time. Cause I heard somebody say something and it kind of stuck with me. So the lady said something like, it's a waste of time. I was watching the video and the person that was making the video said that, I think their mom said it was a waste of their life to be searching for like clothes or socks or stuff like that. And I kind of resonated with that. I'm not gonna even lie. I was like, oh wow, that's a good way to look at being like organizing stuff, like putting stuff where it need to be at and making sure that you have some kind of structure over your day. Because you like, if you don't have no plan for the day and you just like, oh, I'm a free spirit, I'm gonna go with the flow and just see where the day take me. That's cool too. If you just living life, but if you're trying to progress or get further ahead, you're gonna have to come up with a plan and seeing what that plan, you know, like what it really look like. Is it realistic? You know, be real with yourself. Don't be out here like, oh, I'm gonna do a billion things in a day, knowing well that you ain't even been consistent with, you know, going to the gym or I don't know, just whatever people need to be consistent with. I think working out, you got to be consistent with eating healthy and paying attention to your finances. Like, so if you're not consistent with none of that, your home ain't organized, and I just been looking at all of that kind of stuff, y'all. Like, I just been going with the flow, which I think is because this like the first time I'd ever had an opportunity where I didn't have to worry about certain things, and I just didn't know what to do, or I knew what to do, I just wasn't doing it. It kind of felt overwhelming, like just too many thoughts. So some of the stuff I have been doing over the last probably month is just thinking of ways to be more organized for 2025. Realistic ways, like I already get up early. So get up early, make sure, you know, what I'm noticing is that when I'm up early that I don't want to come into a kitchen with dishes, because then I'm spending time that day on washing dishes. So making sure that I tidy up a little bit in the evening, because I really don't. Like, I get up in the morning and I clean up, and then that's fine too. But if I'm cleaning up from the day before, I'm wasting that day's energy on yesterday's, you know, activities. So I don't want to do that. I'm learning that I don't want to go into the kitchen and have to wash dishes first thing in the morning, because I'm probably going to cook or like make a smoothie or juice. Well, juicing I'm not going to do in the morning, but I might make a smoothie or something, and then I still have to wash that. So how I'm looking at things, it's like, let's take on each day as a little mini project, right? If it's a little mini project, then we need to prepare for that project the night before. And it sounds simple because people say it all the time, but like to actually put it into practice in your own life is completely different, because what might work for somebody might not work for you. Or even if it do, it might not work the same way that it would if you know, if you was them. Like, maybe they have different opportunities and challenges that you don't have. And so you have to apply the things that overall, let's just say overall, waking up early may be a good practice. But waking up at 5 o'clock might not be for everybody. Waking up at 7 o'clock might be good for some people. You know, everybody don't want to go to bed at 6, or not go to bed at 6, but everybody don't want to go to bed at like 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock so they can get up early. Sorry, y'all. It's the new year, somebody on the bridge. But yeah. Hey.
What you doing? Fishing?
Yeah. I'm feeding them right now. I ain't catching nothing.
Caught some fish today?
Not today. Not yet. He turned all the way up. But yeah, everything that everything that everybody do ain't for everybody to do the same way. You got to figure out what worked for you. So like, I already wake up early. That's easy for me to do. But I might not wake up and want to, work out at 5 o'clock in the morning. You too. I might not want to wake up and work out at 5 o'clock in the morning. But I can wake up, make me some tea or some hot, like water or whatever. Because I've been noticing that I don't really drink cold water first thing in the morning. So I'll be making tea and I'll sit there and just get my thoughts together, first thing in the morning, just kind of go slow, ease into the day. Some people can get up and just do a whole bunch of stuff as soon as they get up. I have to ease into that. And I had to learn that just by practicing it. And so I think those kind of, if we looking at those habits that people, like the successful people, what they say they do in a day, if we look at those habits and figure out ways to apply those. Okay, y'all, so it's the next day. It's January 2nd. I didn't finish closing out that video, so I'm gonna go ahead and complete what I was just saying, because as I was sitting back watching it, I realized that my phone did start recording because it had died. It was going dead and I couldn't see that it was recording. But y'all, it's about 6. I think it's like 6 o'clock. It's 6:15, but I've been up. My alarm goes off around 4:45. And so what happens is I just kind of lay here, just lay with my thoughts, and before I even get up and take care of anybody, I have to just sit here with my own thoughts and get my, mind right. So I wanted to finish out that video, or my thought, and the thought was to look at successful people and apply their habits or the things that they say, help them get successful, become successful. And successful can look different for everybody, y'all. And some of the stuff y'all might not want to do that, or you may not want to focus on that I want to focus on. But one of the books that I read was like, I want to say it was Atomic Habits was one, and the one with 7 Effective Habits of Successful People or something like that. I can't remember what the name of the book was, but I was looking at those habits and just applying those, and just looking at people and saying, okay, well, this person does this, I like that, let me try that. And like one of the things I tried was 75 Hard, and 75 Hard, I didn't complete it, but it did give me like an outline of a successful day or a structured day that would lead to, accomplishing some goals or accomplishing some things that I wanted to accomplish. So I'm not gonna say y'all gonna do 75 Hard, but I do follow some of those principles in my, like, to structure my day. So working out once or twice a day is possible. Reading, I do that anyways. Like right now I got a Kabbalion right here next to my bed. I have that. I kind of use that as a reminder, like kind of how people read. I don't just use this like this, but this type of content, I should say, or those type of books, I use as a reminder of how the universe works, the laws, and pretty much the laws of the universe is what that book is about. So I use those just to help me stay focused on, like, what I'm thinking, and being aware of my thoughts, and being more conscious, and then having more intention, on the things that I do. So reading, on the 75 Hard, they say don't read no fiction, or don't read nonfiction, read fiction. I don't really read a lot of nonfiction anyways, but I think I might start. That's why I was finna say, like, reading in general would help with just speaking better and just increasing your vocabulary. And I do read a lot of nonfiction books. Did I say that right? Yeah, nonfiction. So I read a lot of like self-help and stuff like that. I think I said it wrong a few minutes ago, but because 75 Hard say read nonfiction books, not fiction books. So let me just make sure I clarify that. But I do think reading fiction a little bit would help with your creativity or help with mine. So I may read a little bit more fiction than what I was normally reading, but I'll just read and say reading is a good way to become successful. Now, I'm not saying only read fiction, because then you're not learning a specific topic. So maybe have more than one book that you're reading at a time. But let's just say instead of watching TV, if you want to relax and be entertained, instead of watching TV, maybe read a fiction book. Because then that's still giving you some entertainment, but you're also practicing reading, and that's going to increase your vocabulary. You know, and it's like I say, and reading fiction does spark some creativity in the imagination. So that would be a little bit different from the 75 Hard like rules or whatever, but I still look at the overall concept of 75 Hard as reading, exercising as a priority, and what else was, your food. So if you just look at those like areas in your life and say, okay, I'm a focus on work. And you can't have any alcohol. So that's another thing that I'm gonna have to like do, because what I noticed is that when I drink wine that night, and I drink wine most nights, so when I drink wine, it slows me down in the morning. It's just, and then maybe I'll fall asleep because the wine puts me to sleep, and I won't finish doing certain things that I would like to have finished that day. So when I'm looking at, that's what I'm saying, 75 Hard is a good little guideline. So no drinking of alcohol is on that challenge. And so I do think not drinking alcohol for me is a good thing, because it does slow me down. I'm not going to even lie. The older I get, the slower I get, and it's just like, girl, you probably shouldn't have had that extra glass of wine. Like, So anyways, but just being real with yourself. So that's why I say, when you're looking at successful people, you got to look at them and then look at your life and say, okay, do I want to change how I look? So do I go work out? Do I eat healthier? Because I want to eat healthier and work out, stop drinking wine, not because that's part of the challenge, but because it realistically doesn't line up with what you want to do the next day or what you want to do that day. Because how it affects, like how it's starting to affect my body as I get older. I don't have hangovers unless I'm drinking like a whole bunch, but I'm definitely moving slower at times. So maybe don't drink half a bottle or a whole bottle. Like maybe drink like a cup or a glass if that's what you want. But just focusing in on the areas that you know need some improvement. And once you practice it, like with 75 Hard, just being successful is a practice. Being consistent and disciplined is a practice. So you do it, and even if you fail, you just start over. Like that's how 75 Hard. If you mess up, you just start over, and don't just keep going down the rabbit hole of, oh, I messed up yesterday, so I'm gonna take today. I'm gonna take this day. I'm on vacation, so I'm gonna just not follow my daily guidelines. But when we're looking at successful people, it might not look exactly how it looked for them. You got to apply it, see where it fit in your life. Is working out first thing in the morning gonna help you? Okay, well, what kind of workout? Because I'm telling you right now, I'm not finna do no full body pump, none of that at 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't want to. What I will do, and what I find peaceful, is maybe going for a walk by myself, not with the dogs, not with nobody. Go on my own walk, and maybe for 45 minutes. Not too long, not too short. 45-minute walk. Boom. I like that. That's realistic. But I wouldn't have known that had I not started like something like the 75 Hard Challenge, or had I not read a book that said, or maybe consumed some content that said something like, oh, morning walks help you start a great day. And because I was reading all those self-help books and applying certain things that resonated with me to my life, I could see where it fit in my life. But sometimes, somebody might say something, I'll try, I'm like, oh, I don't want, that ain't fitting right there. I can't put that right there. Now I can go work out around 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock, you know, I might be able to go do something a little more strenuous. But first thing in the morning, like right now, like ain't nothing strenuous going on. I might can stretch, you know, I might be able to do, I ain't gonna even say yoga, because realistically, like once I start labeling the workout, then it's like a workout. But if I get up and just stretch my body and move my body and go be aligned with, you know, the sun and the day and the birds, because when you go outside in the morning, the birds is chirping, the sun is coming up, that's a vibe to me, you know what I'm saying? So I can do that in the morning, and maybe do a little leg stretches, arm stretches, back stretches, just to loosen up, because I'm learning a lot of things about my body, y'all, and my body is telling me this mattress ain't it. But that's for another video. And so just being real with yourself, though, that's all I'm just saying. Just being real and learning things, and then taking what you learn and applying. But you don't have to jump off the deep end and like, oh, you read about being vegan, now you go in the kitchen and throw everything away, and then you might end up relapsing or going back to, you know, junk food and stuff, because you just went off the deep end. Like, instead of completely taking everything away from yourself, just start like adding it in and see where it really fit in. And okay, maybe you don't go vegan, but maybe you stop cooking with meat in certain dishes. Like, I learned how to not put meat in all my beans, because I grew up, we put meat in beans. Now I still may put some meat in beans, but I've learned how to cook without certain animal products in other dishes. And maybe we don't use cheese, like maybe we use cheese. Like, I tried the vegan cheese, and then I was like, well, shoot, it's got oil in it, so realistically either cheese isn't really good for you. So either you don't have the cheese, which is the healthier option, or you just keep eating the cheese. Like, I tried the vegan cheese because I was like, well, this might be healthier in a sense, but what's the difference between you putting oil in your body and cream? It's still gonna give you, like, and depending on what kind of oil, you'll be better off with the milk, with the dairy cheese. Like, it just, you have to take some of this stuff, y'all, and figure out a way to apply it, but a realistic applying. Like, some people don't want to eat eggs. I got chickens, I'm eating my eggs, baby. Like, but to each his own, you know. I wouldn't necessarily say I would eat as many eggs if I had to purchase them from the grocery store. And, you know, that's just because of how we know, like, some of these animals are being treated and the things that they do to the chickens and how they raise them. Like, you just have to, once you learn things, y'all, once you figure out something and you like it stick to your brain, then you can figure out how to apply it to your life. That's all I'm saying. It don't have to be the same way. Like, if I do something, you don't have to do it the same way that I do it. But I'm just sharing it with you, so you like, hey, she said she was drinking too much wine, and it was like, maybe you want to lose some weight. And because I know when I stopped drinking wine the last time, I lost some weight, but I was also working out twice a day and just eat, like, I was kind of eating once a day. But if I wanted to eat in the morning, I couldn't eat food, but I couldn't eat like carbs and stuff, but I could eat fruit. Like, I can eat as much fruit as I want to in the morning. But I couldn't eat no like bacon, no bread, no nothing, no eggs, no nothing. I could just eat fruit. That was working for me. And so it would just be, I would have some wine, maybe too much wine some nights. And then in the morning, I'm waking up and then it's like I'm starving. But it's because of how my body is processing the alcohol and all of that. So me learning these things, me reading books, helped me be more aware of certain things that I wanted to experience. And I was like, okay, well, I gotta change. I gotta learn how to do this in order to get that experience. And even if I tried it and it didn't work, that time I still had in the back of my head, like, oh, it didn't work like this, but it might work like this. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to try the things and figure out what actually worked for you. But I'm going ahead and get ready because I actually do have to go to work today for a couple of hours. So I'm gonna go ahead and sit here and relax and just probably go for a walk. I still have to take care of my animals, so I do that normally before I go on my walk, as far as letting them use the bathroom, feeding the chickens and feeding the dogs. But I don't take my dogs for a walk with me first thing in the morning because I need my me time. I need it. So anyways, y'all, I'll catch y'all in this video. Bye.